I'm gonna share to you a topic. This is just going to be a short talk. Kasi Grateful Friday, we're just gonna give you some insights na somehow in the next few days, this weekend, you'll be more inspired, di ba? Kasi why are we doing this? Because Cycle House is about, not only about, we're not just selling motorcycle and bike. That's just the business part of it. But our purpose is to really inspire, help people, make an impact to the community, uh, help business people, generate employees, di ba? Yun po yun talagang pinaka-purpose. There's no higher purpose than helping somebody else, right? So, the topic that we have right now is don't miss the magnitude of grace. And this is a short talk, and I'm going to share with you what is the meaning of grace, how does it being manifested. This is not going to be grace in a religious perspective, but really more of thinking it from a deeper perspective or from a different perspective on what we have used to think about it. So, magugulat po tayo na ang grace pala, it's not just yung, uy, pumasa ako sa exam, hinipagan ko, pumasa ako. It's also not na nag-apply ka ng trabaho and then you got the job. It's grace, yeah, it is by grace that you got the job. But you know what? Great grace is bigger than that. And later on, I'm gonna share with you some perspective na hindi pala ganun lang kasimple ang grace. It transcends human thinking. It's not something that we have earned. So later on, I'm gonna share with you on how it is really should be thought of, right? Next slide. So why are we doing this? Well, Find Your Greatness is about self-realization. May mga franchise owner tayo who took the step to have their own business. They have their challenges, they have their wins, diba? They have their success. You know what? I have gone through things. Kung lahat kayong pinagdadaanan hirap, yung mga employees din na nanonood ngayon, you know what? There was one time, this is an inspiration on why we have created Find Your Greatness. Yun yung po yung ating campaign at yun po yung ginagawa natin, may podcast. You know what? Around 2000, I think 2001 or 2002, I sat down. I'm not really good in school, right? I wasn't performing. I wasn't. I think I wasn't achieving the level of success that I want to have during that time. I was just mediocre. Mag-relax lang, chill lang. Okay naman yan. Importante rin naman nag-relax tayo. But I was just a mediocre in school. Talagang, I don't want to strive. I don't want to excel. But there was just one instance that really changed the way I see my life, diba? Changed the way I want to live my life. And it just took one talk from a pastor, from a big, his name is Brother Butch. I don't know if you know him, Butch Conde. I was seated at church alone and just doing my thing. Na Sunday you have to attend to your service. Then he mentioned this story about a street sweeper, yung tagalinis. Sabi niya, even if you're just a street sweeper, tagalinis lang, be the best street sweeper. Dapat ikaw yung pinakamagaling. You do it for a higher purpose. Yun yung sabi niya. Grabe po. Just one thought, an idea, and a new belief. Para akong ginising nun. It shook me to the core with that story na, oo nga no. Maski anong trabaho mo, in whatever you do, be the best that you can be. Maski na nagwawalis ka lang, dapat yun ang pinakamagandang pagwawalis. Because people are looking. People are looking for inspiration, di ba? So sometimes we never thought of that, di ba? Sometimes we are not so aware of that because we're so busy, di ba? Maraming mga demands, timelines, maraming kailangan bayarin. Sometimes we just need one thought, an idea, and a new belief, then our lives can start to change. And it changed for me. After that realization, sabi ko, wow, I don't want to live a life of mediocrity. I want to be the best. I want to put more effort in my reports. So when I went to work in corporate, that was my mindset now, my new belief that I can be someone, diba? That I have to put in my best effort. Just one thought. And I hope and pray for this episode, and we're gonna run around 15 sessions, 15 episodes. I hope and pray that you get that one thought and it can change literally your life because it changed mine. So that's find your greatness, di ba? Yung iba na gusto mag-business, maybe there's an emptiness, there's a fulfillment that you want to achieve, di ba? Maybe a job that you want to apply, di ba? Sometimes you just need a thought on an idea, a new belief to help you to help you jumpstart, 'di ba? That into action. Kasi ganoon din ang pagbabike and motor, 'di ba? Yun yung hinahanap ng mga nagbabike, yung fulfillment 'di ba? Yung mga nagta-travel, 'di ba? Nagbabike sila sa provinces, sa road, 'di ba? Yun po yung hinahanap, that fulfillment. And I hope and pray in the next 15 episode you get that insight, 'di ba? So find your greatness. That's the reason why we're doing this. Because we're not just selling bikes and motorcycle, 'di ba? Everybody can do it. But why not inspire na rin, 'di ba? Let us be an example then. So that's find your greatness. So let's go back to the topic. Next slide. Grace. We're gonna talk about don't miss out the magnitude of grace. Not from a religious perspective, but grace itself. Here's the setup. Here's the setting that we have. We are so busy. Sa dami ng timelines, we have a lot of timelines, we have a lot of bills to pay. There's just a lot of busyness in our lives, diba? There's just a lot of obligations. These are good things. These are things that we need to accomplish, right? These are things that we have to meet. These are things that we have to do. But unfortunately, with this type of living, and then we have this commercialism in our society, di ba, na dapat ganito, high achievement, walang masama doon. Lahat yon importante, di ba? Lalo na kung nasa heart mo, nasa desire mo to be successful. But there's just a lot of commercialism. Sometimes we fail to we fail to recognize the gift of grace because we're just so busy, di ba? Sometimes, next slide. Next slide. Sometimes we fail to notice the beauty of life, di ba? The air that we breathe, di ba? The trees, di ba? The family that we have. Life itself is actually what is real grace is all about. The heartbeat every morning. When you touch your heart, you're still living. You have that heartbeat. You have that strength to go to work. That's real grace. It's not what you earned. It's not what you worked for. It was a gift given to you by your family. And we have a tie-up with House of Refuge. House of Refuge ay mga bahay ampunan. These are abandoned kids. And you know what? I heard their stories. I was teary-eyed. Iniiwan yung bata sa palengke. Tapos sasabihin nawawala. Pero actually, they have abandoned the child. So it's already a grace. I don't know if your parents if you have good or bad experiences with your parents, diba? But the mere fact you still have a parent is already a grace. There's just a lot of things we can be thankful for, and that is grace. Diba? Yung health, the relationships that we have. Next slide. So the way to put at it, according to the book by Michael Singer, Untethered Soul, it's a New York Times bestseller. Sabi niya, it is not something you have earned, or it is not a reward. It was just a gift. You even didn't ask for it. The air that you breathe, the heartbeat, the food on the table. Sometimes you don't have to work for it, but sometimes the universe is helping you to have those things. Diba? It was given for no reason. You don't deserve it. Even if you have some bad things that you have done, you still receive grace. You can still receive grace. And it transcends our human thinking. Kasi ang human thinking natin, di ba? Which is wala namang masama. That what you reap, what you sow is what you reap, right? If you work hard, you'll get this. If you do this, you do that. That's okay. That's also a real concept in life. But try not to forget the other stuff that we're not noticing. Di ba? The birds, di ba? Di ba? The roads that we have, the things that we can still do, di ba? In spite of the fact we have problems, we can still be gracious about the challenges, about the hardship, yung mga employees, di ba? The thing is, if we see things in the eyes of grace, you will be surprised. If you be more aware, if you be more open, you will be more powerful in terms of receiving grace. Yun po yung maganda. And when I was working, let me just allow me to share my personal experience. While others may have a different view about the programs of the company or whatever it is, I try to look at the positive side. There's still a lot of grace in it, the way I live my life. Magugulat ka, the opportunities will soon start to open. And maybe, my friends, that's what you need right now in your life. To see your life in the eyes of a gift of grace. Stop the blaming, the judgment, because those are the things that limit the gift of grace. You cannot receive the grace. You cannot receive the gift of grace if you're always blaming, judgmental. Sometimes we just need to be thankful. Diba? That is the gift of grace. Right? Next slide. This is my last slide. And this is my last message for this first episode of ours. Knowing what grace, real grace is about. It's not something you've earned. It's not something you have worked for. It was a gift. I don't know what you believe in. Maybe God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. But you may have a different term for it. You may have a different belief. But we all know grace is real. Diba? Everybody can experience grace. Now, just for a few seconds, for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, this is a message, this is an idea that I want to share with you that somehow can, I hope and pray, that will open your mind and see things in a different light. Please give us one or two things. Think of things that you should be more grateful of. Yung mga hindi mo nati-take for granted mo in life. Diba? Think of things you should be more grateful of. Diba? Try to forget about the hurt, the disappointment, the failures. That's okay. You can still be gracious. It can give you meaning, diba? It can give you a learning. Why is that happening to you, diba?